Hi, this is UncleTboxing. Sunday morning, and here to talk about some boxing. It's been a few interesting events. I'll start with yesterday's event at the O2, February the 2nd. Garcia defending his belt against our very own Cheeseman. And yeah, I'm going to start from the bottom all the way up to the Cheeseman fight against Garcia, just the whole card. Now the first the first fight was Dano. He was fighting Dano Saxo, a guy from Hammersmith, I believe, around that sort of West London. Hold on a minute. Dano fought from West London, and he had a 4th round. Dominated. Is what you expect. I think this is his fourth fight. At this stage. You fight journeymen, and yeah, it's pretty much a learning fight. Dominated every round. Won. Seemed to have a good support. A lot of people coming to support him. A lot of people backing him, and yeah, it was quite impressive. And after that, John Dock. This is his 3rd fight actually. John Doherty, the Scottish guy. He's the thing about John Doherty. He's part of the he was part of the GB setup, so he's got good experience. Oh, still only 21. Yeah, this is his 3rd fight, 3rd KO, 1st round. The guy just had nothing for him. He's blitzing through these journeymen so very quickly. He's not even learning anything from it. Well, he's learning from, you know, from the Tony Sims gym, the good expiring and everything. I'll get back to talk about John Dock again later on, because he was quite influential with another fighter that fought the chief support. But we get back to him. But so far so good. 21, fighting a super middleweight. I look forward to seeing how his career goes. The next fight was yeah, Scott Fitzgerald. He's got a big fight against Anthony Fowler, light middle. His last fight, I think he injured his hand. Well, I know he injured his hand, so he had an operation. So he just felt like he needed to get the rounds, to get the weight down, to see how to just get that confidence, to see how his hand felt. So they gave him a guy who wasn't gonna. He was just a poor opponent, wasn't gonna do much. And yeah, Scott Fitzgerald in 2nd round got, was it 2nd or 3rd round? I can't remember now. 2nd or 3rd round, got rid of him. He seemed to me that he was quite comfortable throwing his right hand, and yeah, the fight is on for March the 30th in Liverpool against Anthony Fowler. Great fight. At the moment, I would have to favour Anthony Fowler in that fight, mainly because one, he's much bigger. They were both part of the GB setup, but Anthony Fowler fought as a middleweight, and Scott Fitzgerald fought a welterweight. And even with that, Anthony Fowler was a better amateur. He went into the Olympics. At one stage, Anthony Fowler was the 3rd best as an amateur, as a middleweight, and now he's come down to light middle as a professional. He's got to be in as a favourite. He's got everything all in his favour. Longer arms, big for the weight, and seems to be working out. So far, he's shown he's been more disciplined as a fighter compared to Scott Fitzgerald. Okay, and then what was the next one after that? There was Scott, which I've just mentioned. I would like to say yes, Felix Cash. Oh, Felix Cash, middleweight. It was also another fighter that was part of the GB setup, you know. So he's got massive experience. He fought a fellow Nigerian, Felix. I told you not to knock out that guy because he was Nigerian. Just give him a good beating and just win the title. But he was like, nope, I'm gonna do what I have to do. And fair play to him. The Nigerian, though, had the Nigerian Rashid Abolaji is more experienced than Felix Cash, but I still, as a professional, but I still, I just knew it that he shouldn't be in that ring with him, because in terms of class, Felix was a much bigger guy. The guy came in at 157, which makes me believe that if he actually trained, he could actually make Rashid Abolaji could actually make light middle. So he's not really a natural middleweight. But that being said, Felix dropped him first with a well-timed jab, beautifully timed jab, and later on, in that same first round, a well-timed right hand, and Rashid Abolaji went down, and he was so stunned that he was almost like he was trying to grab hold of Felix Cash's legs, and we don't know how our body reacts when we're totally out of it. So that was a massive performance. What's next for Felix Cash? He did say, yeah, if his team says he's ready for the British title against Liam, woo, that'll be a good fight, because Liam, in his last performance, coming down from light middle, getting trained by Dominic Ingle now, looked very good in his last fight. That'll be a fight I would love to see. I'll talk about that another time. Who I think the favorite will be in that fight. But that would be a great fight, Felix Cash against Liam. Yes, talking about Nigerian, there's another fellow, well, partly Nigerian, part of the GB setup, Lawrence Okoli, finally came down again. And the thing about Lawrence Okoli is he doesn't have great experience. Though he was an Olympian, but as an amateur, he only had around that 26 fights. He's had 10 fights as a pro. He's already a British fighter. So at this stage, he's got physical attributes that's helped him to be as successful as he is today, but still hasn't given him the experience to give him that boxing to be a really, really good, exciting boxer. So in this fight against this guy, tough guy, he stepped up in the level, and he's been stopped a couple of times. So it was a very, very tough guy, good learning fight for Okoli, but I thought Okoli would have got rid of him very, very quickly. So what I didn't want was Okoli to stop him in the first round. So what I wanted him to do was toy around with the guy, walk around and setting things he's been learning from his new trainer Barry, and that's what I got. You could actually hear his coach saying things to Lawrence, and Lawrence was listening, doing it, switching to southpaw, turning around. And what was the best thing I got out of that fight for me was when Lawrence finally stopped him, he came off a clinch, because basically Lawrence held him, and what he did, he got out of a clinch to land that right hand, and he did certain little things that you could tell he's been working on with Barry. And what Lawrence would have normally done was maybe hold him and pushed him against the ropes and smother his work and stop his opponent doing anything to him. But Lawrence found himself some space, land that right hand, chop down the pipe, and the guy went. And that was a good learning fight. Now we know he's now fighting later on next month against Wadi Camacho. Oh, I feel it's a good fight, good domestic dust up, but I can't see. It's got to be a strong Axel Wadi. The southpaw, a strong thing, but you never know. These guys are the cruiserweights, and anyone could be hurt. But at the moment, I'm having Lawrence Okoli as a favorite. Now moving down to the chief support, Craig Richards. Well, Jake Paul against Craig Richards. Now. I won't lie to you, because I interviewed both of them, and in my head, I'll be honest with you, I had Jack Paul as a slightly favourite. The reason being is because, one, It's got he was a bigger amateur. He was part of the GB setup. Um, he's a southpaw, tall range southpaw. He's been a light heavyweight longer than Craig Spider the Richards. Craig is only just moved into light heavy, so I wasn't sure if he had the power. He did say he had the power, but people say all these same things, and the proof has to be in the pudding. So, and with Dominic Kingu, who I fully rate as a trainer, yes, so I had to have Jake Paul as a favorite, and boy, did I enjoy that fight. Because you know when you expect something else happen, it's like the excitement, like, that's how I was. Because in the first round, you know, Craig got his footing right, working on his jab. It was a little bit, you know, a little bit nip and tuck. Jake Paul hitting him with his jab as well. None of them was trying to use that backhand. And I think, yeah, Jake Paul must have jabbed him, connected, but Craig just countered straight away with his right hand, and down went Jake Paul. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? He looked a little bit wary, but it's towards the end of the first round. I was thinking, okay, calm down, don't get too excited. In the second round, buzzed him again, and he gave him a right to the body. Craig Richards did that against Jake Paul. He went down. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Then in the third round, dropped him again. Continued the barrage of shots, and the ref just had no other choice but to stop the fight. And that was a beautiful performance by Craig Richards. Shout out to you. I had the other guy as a favorite, Jake Paul, and you stepped up the levels like you said you would. I interviewed you a few times before the fight. Obviously, I couldn't tell you that I had the other guy as a favorite, but you have to keep all that information to yourself. But Craig Richards, newfound respect. I tell you what, if that was Richard Boazzi, if that was him who did that to Jake Paul right now, the whole people will be talking about how great Joshua Boazzi. His soft performance, that if Joshua Boazzi did that, I'll be like, oh, trucks, he's ready for a world title now. And now, domestic level, he could walk through anyone, blah, blah, blah. But Craig Richards, respect to you. They should keep him far away from Boazzi for now. Let them both go their separate ways, grow. Anthony Yard, who's the other guy from Manchester? I've forgotten his name. He's half Ghanaian. He's from the Frank Warren. Everyone light heavyweights are all doing their thing. Jose Burton, you know, great. It's quite exciting. Joshua Boazzi, we'll speak about that later on. Fighting for the British title against Liam Conroy. That'll be another great fight. But let me not digress a little bit. Let me go back to the main event. Sergio Garcia against Ted Cheeseman. Now, I didn't know what to think about Sergio Garcia because I watched his last fight when he won the vacant title, the European title, and he's one of those fighters that obviously box better than how he looks on TV. But if you watch his previous fight against Ted Cheeseman, you could tell that was a perfect opponent for him to have fought to get ready to fight with the likes of people like Ted Cheeseman, because all you saw was Garcia fighting on the back foot, boxing the head out of this comfort fighter who just kept on having his hands up and, you know, trying to bully Garcia. And Garcia had an engine for 12 rounds, did not stop throwing punches. When he got comfortable, he just pushed the guy, throw uppercuts and things like that. But I just thought, though he boxed well and he had an engine, he hasn't boxed someone who might be maybe slightly fitter in the likes of Ted Cheeseman, who's stronger, might be stronger punches and things. So I wasn't too sure who was going to win, but I could see that there might be a slight upset here. Well, we can't say a slight upset here because he's undefeated actually, and he's had more fights than Ted Cheeseman. But you know we are as British, we stick to our own, and sometimes we're a bit ignorant of other fighters out of our jurisdiction. So yeah, what surprised me was in the first round, Sergio Garcia just ran straight to Ted Cheeseman and started. But with Ted Cheeseman, he was trying to box a little bit, but you know, behind the high guard, some shots started slipping. You could tell he went in the fight. He went to win so bad because after it dawned on him that he was getting that box, you could see the frustration in him, the pressure on him. He just went to win, hands down, taking shots, defending Garcia's face at times with his head. That was with his chin. That was very uncomfortable. He's a very strong guy, very young. That's the only thing about that benefits him, is that he's a young guy. But I tell you what, people that say Ted Cheeseman is only 23, he'll come again. Yes, he'll come again because he's got the talent and he's very young. But he doesn't want to be a 23-year-old in a 30-year-old body with a 30-year-old brain. You know, because you shut in your boxing career with that sort of performance. You know, he worked hard, the heart of a lion, but he's gonna have to go back to the drawing board, and I know he will come again. The things that I don't blame his team for taking that fight, because he's between a rock and a hard place, because if he stayed the domestic level, he would have had to defend his British title against Anthony Fowler, who I thought would have been the favourite in my opinion, because like I said, with his amateur pedigree, he's big for the weight, he hits hard, and he could actually box off the jab. With seeing what I saw last night, with Ted Cheeseman coming in with his head guard, if that said same Ted Cheeseman fought Anthony Fowler, I could see him stopping him. I could see it. It depends on the engine, but so far so good for Anthony Fowler. But what is he gonna do next? I personally feel maybe defend it against a lighter guy. Why Ted Cheeseman fights Scott Fitzgerald, and his team might have to vacate that fight because they shouldn't fight. It will be too soon for him to fight Anthony Fowler. He needs to learn a little bit more, because he can't have another defeat like that. Likely wouldn't hear the final bell if he doesn't take time and learn a little bit more and learn from that fight. He's a very strong guy. Though not a lot of people will be able to withstand that pressure coming from him, but the blueprint has now been set. You've got to be as fit as Ted Cheeseman. 2, you've got to have a good chin, and 3, you've got to have to be able to box and keep on moving on the back foot and just try to box him. So the thing about Ted Cheeseman is, because in the amateurs I've seen him get outboxed before, while he's just that same thing, just comes pressure by what's his name, Esserman, who's now the welterweight English champion, and Kevin Fowers, that he won on a split decision, but I didn't think that was a split. I thought Kevin Fowers performance was better than a split decision, but you could see how strong Ted Cheeseman was. So in my head I was thinking, maybe Ted Cheeseman, this is three rounds. Ted Cheeseman will obviously be well suited in a 12-round fight, because he'll finally get hold of you and stop you, or beat the hell out of you by the 12th round. But Sergio Garcia, bravo my bro, because granite chin, and he had engine for days. And obviously with the fight previous to the fight he had against Ted Cheeseman. He already showed that, and he already showed he had an engine. Where is he going to go from here? We will see how he does against the world title fights, and I'll be interested to see how he goes. And good luck to Ted Cheeseman. He's going to have a break from now. He's got a song coming. He's going to enjoy his fiance. Just enjoy, you know, and he'll come back again. Moving forward, obviously I had to go home, sleep, watch a few other fights. Later on down the line, Kovalev regained his title against Oda Alvarez. That was a good performance, well disciplined for performance. 120, 108, 116 to 114, 116 to 114 twice. And 116 to 112, sorry, twice. And 120 to 108. That was a little bit thing, but hey, he got his title box well under McGurk, and he seems to have a new leaf. Box well this time, not trying to blow up, blitz through guys like he normally do, believe in his power. So you know, I know the Anthony Yaz of this world and Tuji Ajayi would probably looking at that fight thinking maybe we're ready to fight for the winner. Nah, not yet. Still got. It's all about timing, and Kovalev is not ready to go yet. And though Frank Warren says he could see, he's going to see Anthony Yaz fight at the end of the year for a world title. I don't see that happening anytime soon. He's still got, the guy only had 70 amateur fights. 17, did I say 17? No, he's had, I can't remember what he had. So he's had less than, I can't, but he's got very low amateur fights. Still learning, and it's all about stepping up, and good luck to him in the future. But he's not ready for the world title yet. Not this year, not 2019. But I could be proven wrong. They could prove me wrong. Who else? Oh yeah, 2018 prospect of the year. Theoma Lopez, lightweight. Wow, he's looking. Theofermo Lopez. Yeah. He's looking good, man. A lightweight. Another prospect who's just as young as him is Devlin Henley. Or they should keep them away. I could see them fighting as a pay-per-view fight, as both of them top prospects, lightweight. And yeah, he stopped what do you say, Maglileno. Sorry, I'm butchering names. I'm going to start working on this. Yeah, Maglileno, who's had 32 fights, only lost 2. He lost the fight to the world champion at the time when he came here against Terry Flanagan, who got. But that was a massive step up for a 21-year-old in his 11th fight, I believe. 2018 prospect of the year, soon to be a contender. Stopped him in the 7th round with a beautiful double left hook, leaping left hook, and gave him again. You gotta keep on watching that guy, and you know, I was a little bit surprised that Shakur Stevenson didn't win the prospect of the year, but boy, I don't know, man. That American side, some of those fighters are looking really good. And who's the last one? My West African brother, Richard Comley. Boy, stopped the Russian fellow in the 2nd round, and the new IBF lightweight champion, Richard Comley, finally got that belt. I reckon he deserved it. He only had one loss against the very close fight against Robert Easton, and now he's been given a chance again. The only problem is he's gonna have to unify that fight against Lomachenko, and I think that was a plan all along. Richard Comley fought a Russian guy who was there to be beaten to win that title, in my opinion, and to stage up a good unification against Lomachenko, and it'll be interesting. One thing about Richie Comrie is a tough Ghanaians, and the thing about Ghanaians, they're very, very tough. The Joshua Boatse of this world, the Isaac Dogbo, very, very strong, solid guys. So yeah, but that's about it. Catch me another time. Next weekend, it's all about a small horse show. It's about time. I think it's a British Warrior show. We'll talk about that. I need to find a few of those boxers. My guy Alex is it Alex Too Slick? No, that's Krongo Too Slick. Alex Too Sweet, sorry. Fighting as its debut. A few other fights. So I look forward to seeing that card next Saturday. And thanks for tuning in. Uncle T signing out.